Hi everyone. In this video I am going to explain you about root anatomy. The very first one, transfer section of dicotyledonous root. Internal structure of typical dicotyledonous root. The internal structure of a typical dicotyledonous root shows following features. The very first one, epidermis. Epidermis is uniseriate, which means single layered, and it is outermost layer. The epidermal cells comprising tubular living components. Cuticle and stomata are absent in root. Unicellular root hairs are formed due to elongation of some cells of epidermis. Here you have to remember epidermis is single layered, outermost, and cuticle and stomata are absent in roots. And the important thing, root contains unicellular, thin, delicate, thread-like outgrowths which are called root hairs. The second important part in the transfer section of typical dicotyledonous root is cortex. Cortex is made up of parenchyma cells with intercellular spaces. The cells of cortex are parenchymous and they contains intercellular space between the cells. Checkpoint. The cells of outer part of cortex are soberanized in old root. This soberanized part is called exodermis. Exodermis is found in some dicotyledonous roots and the most of the monocotyledonous roots. The outermost part of cortex is soberanized, which is called exodermis. Exodermis is general property of monocotyledonous roots and in some dicotyledonous roots. Third one, the endodermis. Innermost layer of cortex is known as endodermis. Outermost layer is called exodermis. Innermost layer of cortex is known as endodermis. Casparian strips are present on radial and tangential walls of endodermis. These Casparian strips are made up of suberin and called Casparian strips are discovered by Caspari. The cells of endodermis which are situated in front of protoxylem cells, they lack of Casparian strips, which means they lack of suberin. These cells are called passage cells. Most of the endodermal cells are soberinized, which are called Casparian strips. Some of the endodermal cells which are situated opposite to protoxylem, they lack of suberin. These cells are called passage cells. The number of passage cells is equivalent to the protoxylem cells and the number of rows of root hair equivalent to protoxylem cells. Passage cells provide path to absorbed water from cortex to pericycle. Here, root contains root hairs. The number of root hairs are equivalent to protoxylem cells and the number of passage cells also equals to number of root hairs or protoxylem cells. Passage cells provides path to absorbed water from cortex to pericycle. Checkpoint. Root hairs are linearly arranged on root apex. Casparian bands are Casparian strips and passage cells are well developed in monocot root than dicot root. Endodermis acts as a watertight jacket and prevents radial conduction of water. Let's see the diagrammatic representation of endodermal cells. How the cells are soberinized. We know suberin is impervious to water. Suberin does not allow water through them. So some cells are which are not suberized, those are called passage cells in endodermis. But most of them are soberinized and forms a band or strip called Casparian strips. Let's check this diagram carefully for your better understanding. Fourth one, pericycle. It is few thick layered. It is composed of prosenchyma. Lateral roots are originated from the part of pericycle which is lying opposite to protoxylem. Thus, lateral roots are endogenous in origin. A few mature cells of pericycle, usually opposite to protoxylem, and became meristematic activity, which means the cells having cell division capacity. These cells undergoes periclinical cell divisions and form some layers of cells. These divisions are followed by anticlinical divisions, forming a primordium which grows to form a lateral root. Checkpoint. Adventitious roots are also endogenous in origin because these are originated from stellar region of root. Some part of vascular cambium in root is originated from pericycle. Fifth one, vascular bundles. Vascular bundles are radial and exarch. Xylem and phloems are separate and equal in number. The number of xylem bundles are usually 2 to 4. Diarch to tetrarch, diarch, triarch and tetrarch up to hexarch. But exceptionally ficus banyan tree, the root is polyarch. Parenchyma which is found between xylem and phloem called conjunctive tissue. Vascular cambium is developed from these conjunctive tissue. Vascular bundles are radial and exarch, which means xylem and phloem arranged in different radii and protoxylem present towards periphery, metaxylem present towards center. In dicotyledonous roots, the number of xylem bundles are 2 to 4, diarch to tetrarch up to hexarch. Some plants may contain pentarch and hexarch. The parenchyma cells between xylem and phloem are called conjunctive tissue. During secondary growth of dicotyledonous roots, this conjunctive tissue forms vascular cambium. Sixth one, the innermost part of dicotyledonous root is pith or medulla. In dicotyledonous root, pith or medulla is small or inconspicuous. Let's see the diagrammatic representation of transfer section of dicotyledonous root. See, the outermost layer is epidermis, which appears in pink color. There is no cuticle, no stomata, but epidermal cells producing thin, delicate, thread-like structure, which is unicellular, called root hair. Below to that, cortex. Cortical cells are parenchymus in nature, and they arranged somehow loosely with intercellular spaces. The innermost layer of cortex is called endodermis, which contains Casparian strips or Casparian bands, and opposite to protoxylem, the cells are called passage cells. Below to endodermis, they contains a thick layered pericycle, then vascular bundles. See, protoxylem present towards periphery, metaxylem present towards center. This type of condition is called exarch condition. Then phloem, the cells between xylem and phloem are called conjunctive tissue. Then important thing is pith or medulla. Pith or medulla is inconspicuous or very small in dicotyledonous root. The second diagram is outline or ground plan of transfer section of dicotyledonous root. Let's check these diagrams carefully for your better understanding. Up to here, under root anatomy, the transfer section of a typical dicotyledonous root is completed. In next video, I will explain you the transfer section of typical monocotyledonous root. Thank you very much.